Every day, we should all be grateful for the law enforcement agencies and first responders that work tirelessly in our communities to help keep us safe and healthy. Well, on October 10th, you'll be able to honor those that serve our communities while having a lot of fun with your family in the process. Dr. Vic Young with Fountain of Life Bible Church joins us this morning to preview this big car and bike show coming to Freedom Hall this weekend. Dr. Young, appreciate you being here.
My pleasure, Chris.
Let's talk about this. This is something that you all have had going for a while, isn't it?
Yes. We have our annual car and bike show. Usually we have it at the fairgrounds, but this year we wanted to have it up at Freedom Hall so we can have a tremendous venue, plenty of area for our cars and bikes, vendors, food vendors, but particularly gearing up for the concert to honor our law enforcement and first responders that evening, Saturday evening.
And you have a sticker here that's very special to you.
The first 500 people, we're going to give a sticker and put in your window, bumper sticker, whatever, where it tells Blue Lives Matter, and it has a scriptural reference to Romans chapter 13, 1-4, where we're supposed to honor those law enforcement and those who take care of our society. And so we're going to give these away to the first 500 people that show up.
That'd be great to have in your window to ride around
and let them know that we appreciate these people who put themselves in harm's way on our behalf.
And let's talk about the car and bike show coming up. What can folks expect when they show up there?
We're going to start registration about 10 o'clock Saturday morning. All types of cars and motorcycles are welcome to show. We have trophies for every class. As I said a moment ago, we've got all types of vendors, food vendors, which I'm always very appreciative of. If you ever find a preacher that doesn't appreciate food vendors,
that's exactly
I would be suspect of it. But anyway,
I like that philosophy.
Exactly. If you ever find one that says he's ordained and doesn't like chicken, you better watch him too.
That's words to live by right there.
But we're going to have things all throughout the day. We'll have some things for the children. We'll have like a bucket train, perhaps have that there. Also, we're going to have flag football, the fire department against law enforcement, and I'm really looking forward to that. That ought to be really interesting, and we're going to have a lot of things just to let these folks know how much we appreciate them. And as conducive with all of Fountain of Life functions, everything's free. We don't charge for the concert. We don't charge for anything. And our purpose in that, Chris, is first off, we believe that we want to honor God. That's our whole purpose. God's word says if he be lifted up, he'll draw all men to him. So first God, and then country. Right now, so much of our country is being rewritten, so to speak, and a lot of our traditional values are being questioned. And we're very patriotic at Fountain of Life. We love our veterans, and we love our law enforcement, first responders, and we want them to know how much we appreciate. We don't take our freedom for granted. And family. We never charge because the economy right now is not the best in the world. We want people to bring the kids, come out, have a good time, have a concert, have a lot of activities, and not have to worry about any outlay of money whatsoever.
And you mentioned the concert there just briefly. Talk about that. A big-name country star coming in.
Oh, yeah, John Anderson. I tell you what, years ago I met John Anderson, and I gave him a ride, believe it or not. And he said, look, he said, I've heard about Fountain of Life Bible Church, and we bring in different celebrities. He said, I would love to come to your church. He said, I've done a gospel album. Of course, so many people are familiar with his hit songs and Grammy nominations for Seminole Wind and Old Lump of Coal and a host of other songs. And I said, sure. So we finally got our schedules worked out to where we can have him, and we're really looking forward to it. And if I may, to show our appreciation to law enforcement and first responders, if they have any identification whatsoever, of course, everything's free. We're giving them the front row seats, the best seats right there on the floor in front of the stage to be with John Anderson. So all the law enforcement, first responders, if they have any idea at all, that's where they're going to be seated. And
I think there's other activities going on there as well. Yeah. You mentioned the food. Talk about that a little bit more and some of the other activities going on as well.
Exactly. We have Cecil Brown out of Greenville. He brings a barbecue that I'm telling you, if you get a drop of that on your forehead, your tongue will slap your brains out. And then we have, oh goodness gracious, I can't think of his name. It's Caribbean food from Blow Mahoney's there, the fellow set up there. I can't think of the name of the
Caribbean food truck down there.
Caribbean, I was close enough. But he'll be out there. So we'll have that, and I think there's another organization will be selling hot dogs. So we'll have plenty of food for everybody, a variety.
Now I want to know, are you going to be out there during the football game?
I will be out there, Chris, but
you're not participating.
My football days ended a long time ago. I'll be 62 years old, and I have the mentality of, well, my wife would say of a 5-year-old, but a 21-year-old, but my body says, sit down, your brain's lying to you. So.
Your church gets so involved in our community. Why do you feel like, you know, most churches, they want you to come to them. You're trying to go to the community.
Exactly. Well, we're very bibliocentric. And God's Word says we're supposed to be the salt of the earth. And if the salt has lost its savor, it's good for nothing but to be cast out. Our society needs the salt of Christian principles, of the Judeo-Christian principles. So many people are wanting to go back and looking at our Constitution and such and rewriting what the foundation of this nation was about. We want to be in a community and realize that we are here to represent Christ. We're not just going after other Christians or just ministering to the Christians. We don't feel like that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to minister to all people, every walks of life, irrespective of where they're at in their lives, irrespective of what they're going through. And there may be lifestyles we don't agree with, but we still want folks at our church because we look at the church as a hospital for the sin sick. So we want everybody to come there. We want to minister and welcome everybody.
And this car and bike show is just one way to do that.
Exactly, exactly.
And talk about, I mean, you know, you think about this is another area in which you can minister, is the law enforcement,
Exactly.
is the first responders.
Exactly.
They need help just like everybody else does.
Chris, over the years, I've been a full-time pastor over 40 years. I've had law enforcement to call me and say, Vic, can you meet us at such and such a house?
Right.
A child has died. Or can you meet us at the hospital and let parents know that their teenager was killed? It's heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I see my grandfather was sheriff over here at Mitchell County years ago.
Right.
My uncle was in law enforcement, retired. We have so much of my family had been involved in law enforcement. My dad invented what was called the underground fire suppression system and owned Tri-State Safety, which was all fire equipment. So we're heavily, in my life and family, been heavily intertwined with folks of that ilk. And I know they have a heart and they see things and have to be involved in things, and most people don't have a clue what they have to deal with.
All right. Dr. Vic Young,
My
appreciate you being here today,
Thank you,
sir.
Chris.
Thanks so
God bless
much.
you.
It is the big car and bike show coming to Freedom Hall Civic Center this Saturday, October 10th. There is a number. They would love for you to get on that website as well and find out more about this very special event.